Hey, good morning everyone. I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this awning together and what I'm going to use to do it for the connect. Couple of tarps. This is just a El Cheapo, $2 or $3, and it's about wore out. I've had it laying around for years. I don't remember what the heck I had it for, but I found it in my stuff. And then I got a heavy-duty tarp here, and this is just a piece that I cut off of a huge tarp. I think it's about 6 by 9, and this is a 5 by 7, I think. And then I got 3 of these spring clips, and they were about $1 a piece, and man, I'm telling you, I'm amazed how strong they are. But I bought 3 of those. That's the only thing I bought for this project. Everything else I had laying around. And I've got 2 of these. These are paint roller extensions. And from doing the house renovation, I had these laying around. They're broken. They used to have a plastic thread on the end of this, and you screw your paint roller to it, but the thread's busted off of there, so I drilled it out, and then I made a clip out of some house wire to for an adjuster, and I can put it up here, and I got another hole down there, so 2 different lengths on it. And then this one I have taken apart. I've got the clip out of it. That's what the clip looks like. I just made a kind of a spring clip. You can buy these things, but I just made them because I got a bunch of this scrap house wire laying around. This is copper with insulation on it. And then I had a couple of dowel rods laying around. I think these are about 3/8 inch diameter. And I didn't measure this, but that's probably, I don't know, 2.5, maybe 3 feet. And I think the poles are 48 inches. So the way this works is when I put the clip in there, like this one, I'll show you this. I'm going to store these dowels inside the tube. There's a dowel inside the red one right now, and the clip will keep it from coming out the end, so all I have is these 2 rods to take. And then I put the clip in there, and the dowel rod only goes down to where the clip is, so I can extend the rod. Now I don't know if these are going to be strong enough. They're not going to withstand much wind, that's for sure. But I'm going to give that a shot. These poles cost about $3, I think, if you buy it new and it's got the threads on it. But you can buy ones that are just $1 or $2 more, between $5 and $7, that actually have a little extension that'll go out to about 6 feet, I think, for about $5 a piece. And I may end up doing that if these rods don't seem like they're going to be strong enough, these dowels, and just buy 2 new ones that actually have the extension. Just the cheapest one you can find that has an adjustable length to it, which would be perfect, but I'm going to try to utilize these because I already have them. And then so the plan is you need something to use these clips to clip the tarp to at the top of the rig, whatever you got. But when I open the door, I think the darn thing is locked. Let me open this up and I'll show you what I plan on doing anyway. When you open the door on the Transit Connect anyhow, you know, you got that sliding door, and then that gives you a nice lip right here, so you can clip the tarp to it. I'm going to clip it there. I'll clip it here in the middle right there. And then the third spot is just going to be clipping it right here. So I'll have to have the door open to make this work. This one's not the best, but that's what I got to work with. Man, the clips are strong. Can't get it off there with a camera in my hand. So I'll take one edge of the tarp and clip it along the roof, or along this, and then the two poles will come out. I'll need to attach some nylon line or string or whatever to the top of the tarp pole, and then one stake on that side, one stake on this side, just to bring that tarp out and have it cover this area. Another option too, let me get over here because of the sun, when I open these back doors, I'll be able to clip the tarp to the tops of those doors and then have the tarp come out this way, and same thing, put my tent poles out here with the twine or string or whatever. And so that's the idea. I need to do a little bit of work. I'm going to make some stakes, and then I need to get some string to the proper length cut so that I got two pieces of string to stake it down. And then I brought this, when I moved into this house, there was just a bunch of junk sitting behind this carport, just kind of piled up, and this I don't know what it is, old oven rack or something was laying back there, and it's pretty well rusted out in the middle, but the edges still have some good metal to them. That's about 1/4 of an inch diameter. So what I'm going to do is take my grinder and I'm going to cut a couple of, maybe 2 or 4 stakes, tent stakes. I'm going to make tent stakes out of the edge of this thing. The ends are in decent shape, but the sides are pretty rusty. I'm going to cut as many stakes out of that I can, sharpen up the tips with my grinder and make them so I can pound them into the ground. And I think that'll make a nice heavy duty stake that'll be long enough to go into most ground situations, unless it's really just way rocky. And then I'm going to just use some nylon twine that I have for the strings. But that's my plan. I also had this rebar stake, and again, it's about rusted out, but it's still solid. This is, I don't know what that diameter is. It might be a 1/2 inch. I thought, man, that'll be a nice heavy duty stake as well. I may just use my grinder to cut a couple stakes out of this to take along for whatever. Who knows what you might actually need them for. I like this one better because it's smooth and it's not nearly as rusty on the surface. But that's the plan. So let me do some fabricating to kind of get the stakes and the string all done and this thing set up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So here's what the stake looks like. I've made 2 of them. I don't have my vise mounted anywhere, so I can't really bend that into more of a loop. Maybe I can if I pound it with a hammer or something, but that's good enough to hook the twine. And I don't want it super sharp, but sharp enough to start into the ground. So I made 2 of those. It's probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches in length. I have enough metal to make a couple more. But here's what the awning ends up looking like. See, I just have the clips connected there. Now this is a small awning and it's pretty wore out and rotten, so it's got a good sag to it. I may not be able to get the sag out of it. I don't want to pull on it too hard, it'll probably rip, but I may try this with one of those bigger tarps that I have and see how that works. Then I just looped the loop over the pole first, put the tarp on, and then brought it up and coiled it around a couple times. And in this case, I just tied it to my beautiful deck there. because of where the van is parked. The other one I'm actually using the stake that I made. And this is 1/8 inch just nylon cord. I got a bunch of that stuff I use for whatever. And the poles, I don't know. I may end up buying the new poles that have the extension. So 2 poles, say 15 bucks. $2 or $3 in cord. Let's say 18 bucks. Another 3 to 5 for the tarp. 20, probably, and then 3 bucks in clips. So you're probably looking at $25 if you bought it all new to make a tarp. Now, one thing that I noticed with this van, this is about 6 feet from the corner of the open door to the opening right here. I can get another 3 feet, and I'm gonna try it here in a minute. Open up this back door, and it locks kind of in the 90-degree position, and that'll put it another 3 feet out this way. So that could be a 9-foot tarp, and then whatever length you want for distance. That's a pretty good amount of shade, especially for one person, depending on where the sun is. But it's also going to serve another purpose, which is when I have the side door open and I'm trying to keep it cool in there, I can you know, keep the sun from beaming in there and heating up the inside stuff. Another thing that I like to do with this particular van, I actually did it with the other van that we had, is when I open the doors, depending on how you close them, I like to, it's got a little rubber doohickey there, and it fits right underneath the other one, like that. And then it opens up that back end, so I can have some pretty good airflow and still have the sun blocked out, basically. That way I can have good airflow through here, have some shade out here where I can put my lawn chair or camping chair or whatever you got, and have a nice cheap awning, like 25 bucks. I think it's going to be pretty important that I have a way to make some shade when I'm camping out there in the desert. But that's the plan, guys. I may end up with a different tarp at some point, a bigger one. I'll try that bigger one that I have and see what that looks like, and if I set that up and get some pictures of it, I'll post them with this video. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope it kind of triggers some creative thinking, and thanks to Alternatives. What the heck was there? Can't think of the name of the channel. Anyway, Exploring Alternatives or something like that. Anyway, they're the ones that inspired or gave me the idea to make a tarp like this, and Exploring Alternatives, that's it. So thank you to those guys in that video, and the blessings of being able to search online and get ideas like this. Hope you're all doing good. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys on the next one.